really, really excited to be here and share the journey that we've been on with Micron. Again, Micron is somewhat unique, but I hope in sharing the story with all of you, you find some commonalities and maybe some things that you guys can take back and try. The executives, they're a great group, but they're tough cookies. And so somebody has brought us to the table to help them with this. So it's getting them all on board. So that's what I'm hoping to help with today. So a little bit about me. I've got somewhat of a unique background. I've kind of done a little bit of everything. So I've been a Scrum Master, I've been a release train engineer, I have helped transform PMOs into more program management, lean portfolio management, and really found a passion for coaching. And then enterprise business agility came along, and it really became my calling and the heartbeat to everything I do. So the other piece of that is we've talked a little bit about children. I have a 14-year-old son who does a lot with military. He is going to enlist the moment he can. And on the weekends, he does military simulation airsoft. And what that is literally Army drills with grown men and children fully decked out. And I love it because I sit back and I watch them, and I watch them form as a team naturally. They all take care of one another, and there's true natural executive leaders on every single one of those squads. So it's really, really cool, and I find that this kind of fits in everything that we do. Anybody heard of Micron? Oh, wow, that's not normal. So we are actually a semiconductor, and we build memory. You guys all probably have something of Micron in one of your devices, you just don't know it, all the way down to McDonald's toys. We are a global company, and so we've got 34,000 employees, but that's just the employees. We've got so many other partners, we're quite large. 18 countries. So that adds a little bit of complexity to us really going on this journey to business agility. And then we've got 13 manufacturing sites across the world as well. Just a little bit of history, because this is kind of important to the executives and their mindset. We were actually founded in 1978 in the basement of a dental office. So 5 guys got together, and they ended up building this huge company that is now a multi-billion-dollar company. They've moved quickly. Fortune 500 in 1994, one of the largest global memory producers. And then really our portfolio is around our patents. So we own almost 40,000 patents right now too. A lot of it top secret, wish I could share a lot with you guys, but some cool stuff coming out. So right now for 2020, what we're looking at is autonomous driving, 5G, AI, really neat stuff that is going to be on the market. This is what our global footprint looks like. So we're all over the place. We're in the United States. We've got a large presence now in Hyderabad and Bangalore. And Asia is where a lot of our fabs are located as well. So when we think of executives, we're looking at executives across the globe that all have to come together with this shared vision. Ironically, we are headquartered from Boise, Idaho. That is Idaho, not Iowa. And though we're famous for our potatoes, go Broncos. There's the famous Smurf turf. So I wanted to kind of share a little bit about our values, because this really becomes important when we think of how do we bring these executives to the table, how do we cast this vision, and how does that vision trickle down to our teams? So Micron, they really value people. And so they say, people are what really move us forward and bring us together. Tenacity, we are moving at the speed of light. And so you blink and there's a new technology out, or there's a new competitor, or there's Chinese tariffs. So there's lots of things that are happening that can really disrupt us. So tenacity is so critical to everything we do. Collaboration. That global footprint and collaboration, it is definitely something that's a challenge. And so we work through that. Innovation's key. After 5G, who knows what's coming? There's always going to be this next thing that Micron needs to support. And then our customers. Without our customers, we aren't in business. So think about these as I kind of share some of this, and we'll come back to those. So really, to gain executive buy-in, somebody brought this to the table and said, hey, we need to change the way we work. Well, that person happened to be IT. So IT is maybe 10% of Micron, which was really interesting. So to really dig into what is it we're trying to accomplish, we had to really take IT through this journey. So really understand, what is it you're hoping to achieve? What does Agile truly mean? Because that's the word that they used. And when you say, well, you want to do an Agile transformation, you can't just go in and tell them, maybe we should take you on another direction, or can we try this? That trust has to be there first. So as a strategist working with them, they have to trust me, and that's where I think some of my background has really helped, because I can share some of those experiences. And then we have to validate, are we really trying to fix the right problem? And this one's really always interesting. And then once we know that, we've got to make some observations. Because what you're going to find is that executive level, if I've got an executive in Taiwan and some of the team is in India and the US, is it all aligned? Then we've got to create some awareness. So this is the part where we observed it. I have some new information for you. So what they asked for is, hey, come in and do an Agile transformation. Great, what does that mean? Well, they said, make our teams Agile. Okay, what is it about the teams that you want them to be Agile for? What it came down to is they want to go faster. So there's a large portfolio, tons of work in the funnel, and they just want to go ahead and crank it out. Is that outcome or output? It's output, right? I can make you widgets, but are widgets going to keep us competitive? Are they going to make our customers happy? Not necessarily. So the other thing was, hey, DevOps. Don't forget DevOps, right? Everybody's doing DevOps, so we got to do that too. Automate everything. So we had to have a conversation around, what is it you're really trying to achieve? So to get there, one of my proven techniques is to really ask them, what is keeping you up at night? Because you asked me to do this Agile transformation. Tell me what bothers you. What is Agile trying to fix for you? And if Sanjay, our CEO, calls you and asks you a question, what do you hope that question never is? Because that's probably the thing that's going to keep you up at night. So when we finally dig into these things and really have some good transparency around, here's the problem I'm truly trying to solve for, then we can finally take the next step. Building trust might take a while. So we might have to indulge a little bit. We might need to go stand up a few pilot teams. Show them, just because they're all reporting to the same manager, those widgets aren't going to move because they're dependent on 20 other teams that are spread across the globe. But we'll try it, we'll indulge it. Now what's keeping you up at night? And continue that cycle until we finally get to the root of where we can help. From there, we find out, well, it's market competition. We were number 3, we were striving to be number 1, and then things changed. Okay, we can work with that. Innovation and speed to market, that's critical. That's that funnel. They want to push things through the funnel, but are they the right things through the funnel? And then how do they keep their people happy? If they're pushing things through that funnel and they're overworked, are they happy? Not necessarily. They're tired. And then this global distributed team dynamic. It's bigger than them just being distributed. There's the culture aspect in it we need to also take in consideration. So those things are now starting to resurrect and really become transparent. So what it came down to is they do want to deliver faster, but with quality. Okay, that's good. We want to adapt to market changing conditions. Well, deliver faster and be adaptable, those can clash. So we can dive a little bit deeper into that. And then we also want to celebrate innovation. So we've got a really big dynamic there. We've got this huge funnel. We want to deliver with quality. That takes time and investment. And then we also want to celebrate innovation. Well, you have to give that time to innovate and be creative and experiment and fail and learn and try again in order to do that. But what does that yield? New products. It keeps Micron at the forefront of the business. This is what our leaders are asking for. This took about a year and a half to get there. Now, in that year and a half, we have a new leadership team. So that's okay, because we've set the stage already for here's the things that we've experimented with. Here's what we're trying. Now that we've got this new global footprint with these new leaders, here's what's happening. Let's do some observations. So those things are important to you, but let's see what's really going on. So what do they see? Well, they do surveys. So what their folks are saying is we're overworked, that you give us these really long projects, and then all of a sudden you change your mind. Then you want this other thing on top of this other thing, and oh, by the way, EVP guy over here, he also wants us to do this pet project, so can you do that too? And then this is how it makes me feel. So they're finally seeing these things come out into the reality. So this is a hard thing to observe. The challenge with the observations with executives is, are they going to see the reality, or are they going to see what they need to hear? Or what people want them to hear? Everybody's going to tell them what they want to hear. They're not going to tell them the reality at first. So this is where you enlist those change agents. Get boots on the ground. Get out there. Do gamble walks. Talk with folks. See what's happening. Then allow them to sit down and have a conversation. Build that trust. Build that rapport. If it's always coming from me, it's just me. They need to hear it from the people that are truly impacted. This is where that awareness, it kind of stings. The awareness at first, it can hurt. So once we can get to the awareness and we all have all of our cards out on the table, then we can make a plan to move forward. So this is one of my favorite quotes. Leaders aren't responsible for the results. This was a hard thing for them to understand. They are responsible for the people who are responsible for the results. So if we go back to the culture, we value people. The people are saying, this is how I can do better for you. This is how I can deliver with quality. This is how I can be adaptable. So if they do that, we have a place to start. So does it align with your outcome? Okay, if it does, great. If it doesn't, let's align our outcome. Cast the vision, send it down to a team, and have a team say it back to you. Because I guarantee you, it's not aligned to begin with. So they need to cast the vision around, here's why we need to deliver with quality. Here's what quality means to us. Or here's why we need to collaborate. Whatever that thing is, they have to make sure that they have that alignment. Otherwise, you're still going to be disjointed. So then test it. Keep testing it to make sure we're aligned. Because the other thing they complained about is, you guys change your mind. Shouldn't we change our mind? We don't want to keep building something if it's no longer relevant. So if we changed our mind, they need to know right away. So it's got to be timely as well. Ask how you can help. Does anybody watch New Amsterdam? I love him because he really is such a great leader. How can I help? This should always be the mantra of the executive leadership team. The more they ask, the more transparent folks are going to be with them, the more they truly can help. And then that way you get to the truth and celebrate it. When people bring you raw information that's usable, that can change your business, thank them, celebrate it, and make sure that that continues until you can start to move forward. Just doing those simple things to begin with will completely change the dynamic from what the teams feel down to what is actually going to happen, which will improve your business. How can I help? I have tons of tools, tons of tricks up my sleeve that we've been doing for quite a while, not only at Micron, but a lot of other big companies that are working. It starts with the heartbeat of the enterprise business agility model. We don't do the whole thing, we pick something, and our next step is actually HR. So they have now seen the value of this, and they're moving forward through that journey. The first thing they're gonna start with is a leadership radar. So I'm really excited to start that next step with them, and I'm gonna be sharing the results with the ATI team and may have some really cool insights for you guys too. Thank you very much.